This is where I left off. Pisco just ended his call with somebody that he was freaking out on, and now he's gonna get more callers. We'll see.
Good job. All right. We'll do a few more. I have to go in like 25 minutes. Yo, what up? Thank you for the super chat. By the way, Pisco, thank you for having such an even-handed approach to this on, so you can really convince people like Ogre Boy when he's caught in a lie. No, I mean, that was my point at the end there, but I appreciate you, Boris.
Wait. Unironically, it was convince Ogre Boy. Hello?
What up, Crowbar? Thoughts?
Yeah, so
That better be a joke.
I think
there has to be a joke in there somewhere.
my point is that this is from your earlier discussion.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yes.
what is your view
Problem,
on
bitch.
Denim's intent?
Too extreme.
Do you think she wanted to increase the likelihood of a CPS call?
I don't have evidence for that. For that.
What? Oh, you don't have evidence behind her motivations beyond the fact that she fucking hates Ethan Klein? Hello?
And so because
I think that's the fundamental difference between you and Hutch.
Okay, help me out.
So I don't have the evidence to prepare and present to you.
Wait, is Steven good at arc raiders? Does anybody know whether or not Steven... Okay, for some reason there's like ranked mode arc raiders, okay? It's like how good you are. Maybe I should work on climbing the ranks, okay? I have no idea, but I don't know what rewards you would get for climbing the ranks though. Like I want actual substantial rewards. They are bad? Oh shit. Maybe I'm bad.
Right now, but yeah, I think that if someone did present and go through all the content and all the history and the lore and all the BS, that the people like Hutch would think...
Wait, really? But they've been playing this entire time. They've been playing nonstop. All they've been doing is arc raiders, bro.
I think that her intent is clearly to increase the like.
I expect a full loaded out Hole Cracker, Osprey, Anvil, Heavy Shields, MK3, looting backpack, alright, looting augment, okay? With Wolf Pack, everything, okay? Hello? Are you even playing the game?
Likelihood of a CPS call, whereas you don't.
No, but Hutch didn't say that. What Hutch said is that it was wrong because it was risky.
I agree.
Okay.
Hutch, I think you were right on every single point Hutch brought up.
But do you think that that even though he hasn't like realized to articulate that, his whole point is that she's trying to increase the risk of CPS call. But the problem is that it's just like it's an unfounded claim that needs evidence to support it. People
I agree. Yeah, and I think he kind of brushed against it with saying like, oh, if you look at all her content, but he didn't actually make that argument. He kind of bumped into it. And I think every time he tried to like, I think he was just thinking out loud. Like, I don't think he's well trained. I don't know his content very well. But it sounded like he was kind of thinking aloud, like to justify this emotion he had, this right brain thought he had. And every time he was thinking aloud and he said something that was, you could grab onto, you immediately like put the knife on the table and were like, boom, wrong. And I think you were right to show that he was wrong.
Yeah, like I'm not sure the best approach because I don't want to grant things I don't actually believe.
It refreshed.
And I do want to take objections.
That viewer count on Kick can't be accurate, right? What do you mean? On my Kick? What do you mean? What? Why is Infrahaz on the front page? 3? Yeah, that's normal at the beginning of the stream. That's normal. But for some reason it says why not you have to refresh. But also like later on in the stream, like once I'm really into it, typically it's at like 50 to 100. Like it really depends on what I'm covering. Like 50 to 100. Yeah, I don't know.
When I hear something that I don't agree with. And so, like, I hear Hutch say something.
It is what it is.
Or like ask me a question
about.
What
say? What do you want me to say?
Is good or bad, and I want to respond to it, but I also want to keep us focused. I guess I'm not sure.
I agree. Yeah. I think the only thing, the criticism I could say about the conversation is just that you could have maybe had a more collaborative tone. But I don't think it's necessarily. It was supposed to be a debate, right? You're supposed to debate the issue, so. In that context, then I think you were justified. But I think that's why he probably is coming away from that conversation feeling bad.
I don't know that he feels bad. I mean, I don't get that impression.
It's not that she wanted it, it's that she didn't care if it happened or not. No, I would make that it's an argument that she wanted it, yeah. I mean, if you didn't care whether or not it happened, in my opinion, if you don't make that clear, yeah, I'm gonna assume some degree of malice, yeah, I am.
Well, because it felt like
I think gross negligence, in my opinion, is to some degree a moderate amount of malice, yeah.
You kept digging in on points that he made that were wrong. But then you could see he's like recoiling, it's like he just can't articulate what he feels. Anyway,
I feel like this is a little condescending to Hutch. I feel like people talk to me like Hutch is they treat him like he's like a child, but I don't think he's a child, and I have a greater respect for Hutch.
My hope is that if
I mean, you guys all act like children, right? You guys are in the playpen in the daycare, and you guys are just like arguing with one another. Like you guys are a bunch of like toddlers. Like you guys are not too different from one another. Okay, you guys are all a bunch of little football wearing soccer
Hutch
people.
heard this argument that I'm making right now.
He would
say,
yeah.
You think we'll ever see you, Seiyun, and Steven playing trios and Arc Raiders? Why not? Steven just has to say something.
he would say, "Oh, Crowbar, you're right, dude. I agree."
You think he would agree that like I'm a baby that needs to be?
He would say, "I haven't like." I think part of the issue is that it's like these communities have been. It's like he's been immersed in this content for so long that there's a lot of like tribal knowledge that he can't articulate, and I don't think he's like a debate guy. At least that's the way it came off to me. Like I don't know. Maybe he's like a professional background or something, but
Maybe. I think that he can hold his own in these discussions. I think that he. I don't view him as like bad at debate. I don't view him as fundamentally incapable. Like
I'd say he's not as good as you.
well, I believe that. I mean, you're just now appealing to my ego.
Okay, but anyway, I think that
Yeah, which is what he likes, okay? Alright, he's gonna pretend he doesn't like it. It's just like me, okay? It's like me on God for real, okay? Like I think to myself, oh, I love massaging my own ego. But then on stream I'm like, I don't care if people compliment me or not, to be honest. You know, I don't actually care about that. You know how it is, right?
anyway, the point is
We all
that's a
did that.
fundamental issue, I think, and part of the reason why. Okay, then the other thing is that it feels like you're upset.
yeah, I
Like, oh,
don't
why am I getting all these
care.
comments? Why are these people getting
I
upset
don't
with me?
care.
Right?
It's
Why am I getting so much
okay.
flack?
Well, I think I know why. I think it's because
It's alright.
they're emotional and highly feels based.
Wow.
I would say partially yes. But, like,
amazing argument.
the example I would try to give you is like, what if you came to me and were like, "Hey, wasn't that
My
tweet
projection.
that Trump made about Marjorie Taylor Greene being a traitor like insane?" And I go, "Hold up, what do you mean insane? Like, let's go. What do you mean? Let's go through the claims. Let's go through every single one." You'd be like, your alarm bells would be
bro.
setting off,
Like,
right?
I get it when like it's just a casual conversation, but when we're really talking
This is
about
an extreme example. This is an extreme example.
like what we're talking about is like, should this person be basically tens of
Was he always this fucking hateable? No.
thousands of dollars, and we do this whole lawsuit, this whole song and dance? Is it right or is it wrong?
Because Pisco used to be like a huge glazer of Destiny, and everybody liked him because he was always anti-Trump. Okay, so like when Pisco was only anti-Trump and he wasn't anything else, he was like smug and condescending towards Trumpers, which is like, we don't care about that, right? Everybody is smug and condescending towards Trumpers. But then at some point, you know, like obviously the fall happened and this all happened and shit, right? But like at some point, no, like after the Glenn Greenwald debate, do you know what happened? After the Glenn Greenwald debate, Pisco called into Destiny to compliment him. He called into Destiny to say, "You fucking destroyed Glenn Greenwald. You fucking obliterated that guy. Holy glaze, man." But you know what? It's kind of correct.
I feel like we need to be very specific about what is the basis here. And
Right. But like, if you were to, okay, if someone came to your chat and was like, "What do you mean Trump's calling her a traitor is wrong?" Go through the claim, go through every single claim, and then you go through the claims, and then you justify them to me, and I go, "Oh no, okay, you're right, I agree," and I just keep agreeing, and then at the end everything's fine. I go, "Oh, I was acting in good faith. I don't know why," and then all of a sudden, like all these liberals are mad at me. You know, "Oh, why are you being so credulous to Trump?" Right? And if I was just if I was like a naive abuela, and I just didn't know anything about politics, okay, then that credulity is maybe justifiable. But if I was, you know, Tim Pool, then I would be accused of bad faith, right? So I think that's the mix. It's like there's a level there that I think you're wandering into this highly polarized community between Destiny and Hassan and these
This
guys,
blob
Ethan,
must
or maybe
die.
Ethan and Hassan in this case, and you're like, you're being very credulous to people who Ethan's community view as like malicious, you know, intentionally lying.
you,
Right?
think I'm being credulous to people like Denims? And
Yeah.
Adam
Sorry,
Nada?
that was not a microaggression.
No, not better than Nada.
Or like I don't take that view because like I'm willing sometimes even when it's not the case
Okay, that made no
to
sense.
take
I'm
negative
sorry.
inferences against these people.
Never
Like
mind.
for example, the chat thing, I accepted the representation that Hutch made. I didn't ask him to
Yeah.
justify it. He said that all of the chat, by which I interpreted like some significant majority of the chat, was making this kind of call for CPS. I'm being told that that's wrong, but notwithstanding that, like I took the negative inference against Denims, and so I don't know that that's credulous. That's me.
Kushouse, do you buy into the narrative that Pisco is intentionally courting Destiny anti-fans and snarkers? Yes.
Accepting people's like representations, but oftentimes, by the way, I'll follow up, and then it's like a little different than what people are claiming or something. And so I don't know if that's credulity towards what their positions, Denims in them. I think it's skepticism towards the people making the affirmative claims, namely like Hutch. That's the skepticism.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like one piece I would say is like, you know, going to the fecal thing or whatever. I guess you did that with the caller earlier.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I think he's trying to walk a tightrope. He's trying to walk the tightrope between like spiteful lefties and anti-fans and the DGers.
isn't it reasonable
And loaner
Well,
box.
that someone would infer that
They ate
they
poop.
ingested fecal matter.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, but it feels to me, and
Is Pisco a lawyer that practices? No, I think he's qualified to practice in New York.
he didn't want to say yes, but yeah, I think it is. I think it's reasonable, but it's like,
Right, but people are saying that
to me, it demonstrates a level of credulity.
People are saying it's malicious to spread that around. Now, after you get the correction, I can say it's malicious, but I don't really know what the basis of saying something is malicious if it's a reasonable interpretation. You know, like why would it be malicious to spread a reasonable interpretation of something? Like that's what I now. If you add elements to it,
you know the answer to that, right?
Help me. No,
You could be like, I could let's see, like I could go and just take a random fact and present it to form a narrative that's not true, right? A fact that's true.
No, I understand that, but people are saying like the mere fact that they said this thing about the eating the poop. Now, if you add it to other stuff, like the other caller did, YOLO swag, I can understand that, and I can be like, okay, the notion that this necessitates negligence or some kind of broader disorder in the household, that is unjustified and something that is.
So speaking of California law, makes him a fake attorney in California? No. Well, I mean, he would only be fake if he claims to be an attorney in California, right? But like being an attorney in one state doesn't mean that you're unqualified to commentate on law in another state. Like, yeah, of course, you need to take a different bar. Like, if your knowledge would never be as great as someone who is actually a lawyer in that jurisdiction. But considering how like laws work and how like the thing is that different courts have different culture and different offices have different culture and different ruling courts have different culture, and I think that lawyers of their local jurisdiction know a lot about like their own local culture in their court or something like that, but they do not know about other courts, right? Like something about like like different circuit courts have different cultures and shit. So it's like if you're way too confident about the way that you talk about some courthouses or the way that they might rule, you might be a little bit pretentious and you might be overstepping your bounds in terms of knowledge, not in terms of like being invalidated bar wise, but just like that, right? He isn't an attorney in California. He's not. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying no. Like I'm saying he's still allowed to comment on California law if he wants to. You just can't give legal advice because that would be unethical and you could get sued for that. Oh yeah, by the way, quick promo. Hey, if you enjoyed the content, I got more for you. It's on my second channel, which is Snack Markets. I'm trying to get as many subscribers as I could. Obviously, even though I got monetization, I'm trying to reach monetization with ads, so I'm trying to push it to 1,000 subscribers. We also got a Discord server. It is discord.gg/foodchops. We have a pleasant community. It's strictly moderated. It is just about the most sane drama community that you can never be a part of. Now, you can also follow me on Kick. That's kick.com/foodchops. I put all my VODs there. The VODs are not on YouTube. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can find me at notfoodchops. Almost forgot one last thing. My online streaming thing really isn't possible without a large portion of my income coming from donations from people like you. If you would like to contribute, you can become a member or donate super chats and memberships during my streams. However, since YouTube takes 30% as a service fee, and you would like to maximize the money received for me, please donate on Kick, where Kick only takes 5% and I get 95%. You can even donate offline as well if you cannot catch up to the streams. Thank you for your support. Wow, thank you. Okay, great. That's fantastic. All right, cool. Back to reality, guys. All right.
I think deranged.
I hear in my mind.
You can get there for sure. But I'm dealing with the arguments as they're presented. And if people are like, they spread lies, what lie? They said that the babies ate poop.
Your voice is like music to all your adoring fans. I think my voice is harsh and grating, but some other people love my voice. I don't understand why. Okay, I like in my opinion, it's a very harsh and grating voice, but people are gonna fan. Fans are gonna fan.
And that's not true.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it might not be true, but is it a reasonable thing to take from what he said? I think yeah. And like it's not.
What music should go there? Misaki suggested like some Wuthering Waves soundtrack thing.
Just enough that they contribute to a particular result, because by that light, Ethan himself would be like responsible for the whole CPS call. So we have to be talking about states of mind, right? No one's going to sit here and say
I agree.
that H3 is culpable for the CPS call, right? No one would say that.
Yeah,
no, he probably shouldn't have done that. You probably shouldn't have shared that information.
Ew.
And he does have like a causal relationship to that occurring. But notwithstanding that, people don't think, okay, even though this was a little bit risky, that there are people out there who are trying to clip chimp you. That there are people out there who have like.
You could also put together your own mashup edit kind of thing with all the clips. Yeah.
And so this was not like a smart thing to do, whatever. They would never say, and I would agree with them. If someone said it's his own fault in that sense, that is he's culpable for the thing itself, I would say that's deranged. Of course not. H3 is not culpable for the CPS call himself. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I think, again, like, that's where I comes back to, like, this issue of culpability versus, like, intentionality. I think that's the moral, ethical.
But here's the problem.
Mention is more interesting.
Culpability and the extent of culpability is linked to states of mind in that, and significance of risk.
It's harder to prove, though, right? It's harder to prove culpability.
I don't know what you
like
mean.
In the case, like when it was like 5% or whatever.
No. When I say 5%, these are abstractions, so I can get to like a kind of sense of like how culpable.
An intuition.
Yeah, an intuition. Like what you.
But I think it's hard to prove. Like, to me, it would be more interesting to say non-zero. I think it was a non-zero increase.
No, because that would be true then of Hutch. Hutch is a non-zero.
Yeah, but here's the thing: it's like the intentionality. Is Hutch intending?
That's the
question. To increase the likelihood of a CPS?
That's what I'm saying, Matt.
No, what the fuck? You can argue that everything is a non-zero, sure, but that's a false equivalency, right? Because the truth is that not everything is of an equal chance. Like, this is so retarded. Like, Pisco's entire argument is, like, actually so fucking retarded. It's crazy to me that he's making this argument in the first place. Because in my opinion, you can make arguments in the sense that you can acknowledge that, yeah, we can't prove beyond the shadow of a doubt in some circumstances, but we can get pretty damn close to, like, a certain answer, right? Like, it's not like we can't get pretty damn close to a certain answer. No, we can get pretty damn close to a certain answer, right?
Anyway. And that's, so, like, you can't just be like, did they increase?
But why didn't you discuss that in respect to denims?
I was.
It felt like what kept happening in the conversation was, it was like he just kept coming up with these weird things, like, oh, she should have moderated better, and then you went through and demonstrated, like, well, that doesn't matter. Right, you went through and explained it. Oh, she should have done this.
No, so that's what
and then you went through and
that's what people are misunderstanding, right? Because I can grant that she should have moderated better, and she's culpable for not moderating better. But that's different than saying that she's culpable for calling CPS. And no one like that. That is intuitive to me. It doesn't appear to be intuitive. Like, it appears to be something I need to explain again and again, that there are different ethical obligations and different kinds of ethical violations, and that because you violate one doesn't mean you violate another. Right? Just because you violate an ethical obligation to keep from imperiling the life of your daughter recklessly doesn't mean that you violate the ethical obligation not to intentionally and maliciously murder your own daughter. Those are different ethical obligations, and I'm only going to say that you're culpable for the thing that you actually do.
But do you see, wouldn't the intent matter though?
Yes.
You didn't say intent there. You just said the culpability or whatever.
No, so intentionality and versus reckless, those are both intentional states. Those are both states of mind. And when you just say intent, like, generally, first of all, I did literally say intentionally there, so I did mention intent. But obviously, like, the sum and substance of what I'm saying is the states of mind.
I like Misaki's choice of music too. Definitely works. I like Misaki in general.
And inform the level of culpability. And so because one would say that, like, someone is culpable to some extent with respect to the example we gave about, like, the daughter being sent to the bad place of town, the father who makes that recommendation, doesn't mean that we would apply the level of culpability of someone who, like, is sending her with the purpose that she die, right? Like, if you sent your daughter to a place with the purpose that she die, we would say that that person is more culpable than someone who doesn't.
Okay, so that's the intentionality aspect.
But it seemed like I tried to make that clear maybe 8 times. And I have no idea why I was unsuccessful in expressing that concept to him, because I don't think it's that hard of a concept. And I can tell that some idiots who are adding me on Twitter don't understand it either, because they're like, oh my God, Pisco says that she's not going, like, you guys are fucking 1 IQ.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, okay, I think the fundamental disagreement issue is that these people who don't like denims, who are H3 minded, they think that it is very intentional that she was trying to increase the likelihood of CPS. And I think that you can make an argument, although I'm not prepared to give that.
Yeah, they have to make
presentation
that case.
Of facts.
Yeah, then they have to make that case.
Okay, so I hope someone does that. Yeah. Okay, and then the last thing is, I think it's an interesting topic, the general topic of, how people weaponize their communities, right? Like, I think Trump is obviously the biggest culmination of that, but it's like modern technology has made it. I think Bill O'Reilly was the first with that abortion doctor and, like, the concept of stochastic terrorism and, like, talking about this abortion doctor being.
Oh, like, what is this? No, I mean, like, will somebody rid me of this troublesome priest?
Pause. Stony McStoner. This is why I don't like you, Pisco. No one ever said Dem was responsible for the call. That wasn't Hutch's point. She was culpable for spreading the lies more. Hutch literally said that she's partially culpable for the call.
Yes.
And if you don't agree, we will get the transcript and you will walk that back, won't you? Stony McStoner.
Dude, why the fuck is he? God, you don't have to Oh my lord. Can you just, like, imagine living in the shoes of Pisco? Like, he just doesn't look like he's having a great time. Whatever, man. It's okay. I mean, he does this for his own ego. He does this to tickle his own ego. Oh god. I know an ego devourer when I see one, okay? Ego devours are lost souls whose purpose in life is all misbegotten, but for the case of swallowing ego and pride at any given cost to their lives. They have no control over any part of their lives except to swallow more and more ego. Ego time.
Sorry,
Okay,
Crowbar, we'll get this. I feel
Okay.
like
No
the,
problem, no
teacher's talking to the one kid. I'm not trying to say that to Constantine, but like, and then someone just fucking throws in a paper airplane. These two, hang on. Sure, show me. Okay, so if I show that he thinks that there's culpability for the call itself, what will you do? Will you apologize to me, Stoney?
Wait, what? Dude, it's God. He's arguing with the chat. What the fuck, dude? Oh my God, just ban them if you're so pissed at them. Oh my lord, dude, I would never ever do something like this. I would be like, you know what? Nah, I'm not gonna deal with you. Bye. That's literally it. That's literally it. On God for real. On God for real. That's literally it. That's how I would do things. Yeah. I mean, you're pissing me off. Bye. Easy peasy. Okay. Why even go through all this extra trouble to like I don't know, emotionally invest so much into this? Whatever.
Okay.
Wow, good one. Wow, wow. Did you forget about the fact that you have a caller in here?
Okay.
Yeah, keep talking. Sorry.
Yeah. So I mean, audience weaponization. I think it's an interesting topic.
He's so God. What a weirdo, dude.
I think that it gets at this topic of culpability, intentionality, the grayness, the moral grayness that's happening. And I think with H3 Ethan guy, like I agree with you actually that he's not being his
Getting one guy is truly millennial energy. I agree.
intentions are clearly nefarious, or like it's clearly this whole lawsuit that he's doing is retaliation, right, for the CPS thing that he clearly views them as culpable for, and it's a pretense to retaliate against them. And it's like there's a phenomenon of like fair game being declared, right? Like he thinks, and I think his audience, and this is what Hutch intuits.
Right, because they are the ones that brought the CPS utilizing a public office to go after people, right? So, you know what? You're going to also utilize a governmental service, a public office to go after people, right? Fair.
Is
in love and war.
There's a sense of, oh, you're willing to do this and be malicious and lie about me, whether it's true or not, right? That's an argument. But they think it's true. And so then they declare, it's like, okay, it's fair game. I can do this. And that's why they're looking the other way when he's doing that, right? When he's doing this lawsuit.
If that's a standard, then that's going to apply to much more content creators, and I just don't think it's a standard people actually believe. I mean, it's useful to apply in this case, but it doesn't even appear.
I think it happens everywhere. I think Destiny does it with his community. I think
you think
they declare fair game.
You think that he assumes strict liability for everything that his audience does?
No.
Yeah, no,
I think it's a gray zone that he exploits.
And if it were the case
as well,
and if it were the case that someone out of that community ended up doing something horrible and cites Destiny as a reason, would you apply any culpability to Destiny? Now I'm saying that he's warned not to.
I think it's
No.
I think at this point, Destiny is no longer just, you know, subliminally suggesting. I'm pretty sure Destiny is like openly calling for the doxing of his enemies, right? Like he is openly calling for the doxing of the anti-fans, which honestly, fair enough, okay? Like I don't think he's hiding it. I don't think he's doing stochastic terrorism. He's just openly calling for it, right? He's like, does anybody have the doxes of Sabasexual? Does anybody have the doxes of J-Stock? Does anybody have the doxes of Queenman? Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, these are all like very open calls. Okay, but
to me, it's not so clear. I think it's hard to say. Like,
no, you wouldn't.
If he's intending, so like, if Destiny went on stream and said like, hey, by the way, guys, this is Pisco's address. This is how you get to his house. This is where he lives. This is, by the way, there's a gun store right here. And anyway, I'm signing off for the day.
Okay,
bye, guys.
You understand? There's plenty of good evidence in the specific case that his conscious object is a particular result, don't you? That's separate from the mere fact
like
that
in the case of Denim, she's like, hey, by the way, like this is something pretty crazy that Ethan did with his kid. And
quick pause. All right, this is Hutch.
Sure.
I asked him a question. So this is the question I asked. Ready? So does Denim have significant culpability for the CPS call that she did not place? That there's no evidence that.
I'm pretty sure Destiny was like way nicer at some point. I mean, not that you should always expect him to be nice, but I'm pretty sure he was like pretty damn nice. Like he basically said, well, you know, if any of my chatters harass you guys, if any of my chatters like go after you guys in the comments, or any of you guys do some unhinged shit, then, you know, let me know and I'll ban them from the community, right? The only reason why this is different is because like there are people who are willing to utilize same tactics. Like there are Hamas and Steven is Israel, right?
I've seen her encouraged before the fact.
I never said that.
Wait, I'm just asking you the question, Hutch. Do you think that there's significant culpability by Denims or cases?
Define significant. Are we talking percentages here?
That is a primitive, and I will say I'll put a percentage on it. 5% significant.
Maybe, yeah.
So you think that Denims is 5% responsible?
I don't know.
At least 5%
have no
responsible.
way to give you up. Maybe, sure,
That is,
yeah.
And what? So did you hear him say, sure, yeah? Stony. Maybe, sure, yeah. And then he said 5.2 later on. So you would agree that there is actually a basis to suggest that he adopted this view. Initially some indifference, initially some whatever, but he did eventually say that he thinks that she's culpable for the CPS call. You heard maybe. I mean, there's clear instances in the call. I promise you there are clear instances where he says, yeah, she's partly culpable. And by the way, even the nature of the hypotheticals that we're using when we're talking about this murder victim, where he says, yeah, I would say that the dad is partly culpable for the murder. When we do that example, that should put you on notice that, yeah, Hutch is saying that there's some level of culpability for the call. Okay? So I understand that his statement there was like maybe started as a little bit more equivocal, but he does say, sure, yes. Just to be clear. Bro, I mean, he does in the nature of the whole debate, and we'll get other parts where he does say it, and I'll find places where I'll just control FCPS, and we'll get. I mean, I had the conversation. I know he said it. Even just the nature of the hypotheticals, we're talking about whether the father has culpability for the murder. He says yes. I would say that he has some culpability. It's not where you say where Hutch never alluded to that, never suggested it. He does, and even then he adopted the 5%. Sure, yeah. So I want an apology, and I'll keep looking for the CPS where it's more definitive. But he does do it.
Why? Stop being weird.
Communities would apply consistently, and I really don't.
I think it's something we need to think about, though. I think it's a gray zone that I think creators are exploiting against each other, and it's like I feel like, and then they also feel justified in doing it against each other. Like once they notice that they're doing it to each other, and then sometimes people falsely detect it. Like, and it schizos go like Brett Weinstein. I think he's like famous for saying, "Oh, good faith is everything," and whatever. And I feel like he's the type of guy that would wrongly conclude someone's being bad faith against him, and then start using nefarious tactics. And so it's like it just breeds this kind of behavior that I think is really problematic. And I don't know how you regulate it or how you deal with it, but I think it's an issue that I think is at the core of this discussion. I think it's what people are getting at with this whole thing. But and anyway, if you can respond, I have one last question. Would you ban Trump from your Discord?
No.
Really? He's like the most bad faith.
What, dude? Wait, no, I wouldn't either. What, banning the number one career boost of content creation of all time? Are you kidding me? I'm business minded. Okay, all right. Yeah. What? Why would I ban Trump? What? Are you kidding me? I'm just gonna have like fucking Trump debates all day long. All right, it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be epic. Okay, we're gonna have debates on Trump all day long. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, because all of MAGA is gonna be watching as I debate Trump. Orbiter Trump, absolute cinema.
It's like lying. Right. So
wouldn't it be fucking amazing to have him in my Discord?
Well, I mean, sure, but I mean,
it is, yeah.
From that perspective, I guess. But I mean, like,
bro, dude, nobody would turn this.
Just someone who's like Trump, but maybe has no viewers and no influence. He's just consistently getting caught lying and consistently,
Hutch,
spreading false information, and I don't know.
Maybe not Trump, but maybe someone else like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
cool.
Right. Later.
Bye.
Later. Okay, so we're gonna go through all the evidence. So first, this is him saying, "What if I could show you a video of Denham herself saying that someone should call CPS on Ethan?" This is what Hutch says right here.
What if I could show you a video of Denham's herself saying that somebody should call CPS on Ethan?
Go for it. Is that him in your mind suggesting that Denham's has culpability for the call when he says that, presents that? Does that sound like evidence that he's trying to mark?
Yeah. Hello. Yes.
In favor of culpability for the call? Yes or no? That's all you need to answer. Yes or no on that.
My ninja. The silence is so awkward, bro. Come on now. Come along.
Yeah, no. But what Stoney said was that in no respect can you understand him to be implying any level of culpability for Denham with respect to the call. But that's just not true. And Stoney replies, "Do you honestly think Hutch would say Denham is culpable for the call? Yes or no? Somewhat culpable. Yes." That's what he said in this conversation, and that's what you claimed wasn't the case. Hang on. So you said, "Oh, please don't tell me that there's too many chats to go back to where it was." You said like, "I don't like you because he never said that she's in any respect culpable for the call." He did say that. So let's just be clear of your view. So let's just get clarity on your view, Stunner. All right. Put everything else behind you. Do you think that Hutch says in this debate that Denham bears partial responsibility for the call? Is that your view? Just tell me the view. So Stoney, here's the question, right? Stoney is, does Hutch communicate in this call that he gives some amount of culpability to Denham's for the call? No.
Yes.
So Stoney, whether I asked it.
What, dude? Oh my god, this is so awkward, bro. Just can you not like I would never argue with a chatter like this. By the way, okay, like I get one guy, right? But somebody just banned him. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not having this. Bye, right? Dude, I can't imagine having these like gay back and forths where you wait for the chatter to answer all the time. Like, what, dude? That ruins the flow of the stream. Why do none of these motherfuckers know how to stream? That ruins the flow of the stream. It does. Okay, I'm sorry, it does. It's just not good for entertainment value. Because for people who are listening in the background, they don't know what the fuck the other person is saying. Because they're not reading the chat. Like, yeah. God. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Does he communicate his view, Stoney, that he puts at least some amount of culpability for Denham's on the call? That's the only question I'm asking. Yeah, Hutch wouldn't even deny this because he says it. But I just want to get clear on the view. Stoney. He said maybe, no, there's more, Stoney. I just want to get clear on your view. So I'm only asking your view. Is it your view, Stoney? Your view, right? That Hutch says at least some, by which I mean more than zero, culpability.
Also, debating chatters is punching down. Nah, no. I think if you're a chatter and you go after someone in the fucking chat, I think you should fully expect to receive pushback, in my opinion. But
two Denhams for the call.
Yeah.
I mean, I totally agree with Kilo Tonics. It was literally the entire content of the conversation. Yes, obviously it was. I mean, this is an insane thing that we're gonna have. Like, this is the level that I'm
massive. That's the anti-fan.
having to fucking debate.
Present Sunday's old editor, former editor.
Like, we are not in a shared reality. My view is you pick tiny points. Do you see this? You see this? So he goes in and he says, "This is why I don't like you, because you make these false claims." And now when he gets fucking pressed, because I see his little dipshit comment, it turns out you can't even answer the question. So I'm asking you, right, on good faith, you say, "This is why I don't like you, Pisco, anymore." And I'm pulling you out and I'm saying, "I want to hear your case. I just want to know your view." And you're such a dipshit, coward piece of shit that you won't even articulate your view for me to engage with.
Where is this like testosterone like fucking inflow coming from? Holy shit.
Trying to address your criticism, and you're not letting me because you're withholding your own view.
Okay, dude, chill. Oh my god, it's just game. It's just game. Why mad? It's just game.
Because
It's
if you
just
said yes, in
game.
some respect, you said it was culpable. No shit, that was a whole fucking conversation. Then the basis for you to say, "Oh, I don't like you because you misrepresented the conversation," totally goes away. Because at no point did I suggest that Hutch put the entirety of the blame on Denims. No one could say that, and so you can't say anymore that I'm a liar or that I'm misrepresenting if you acknowledge that there's some level of culpability, and that's what the fuck we were arguing about. And only a dipshit who didn't listen to the conversation and is just thinking with their emotion because they're all feelings based. Only someone like that, only a loser, feelings-based person who doesn't work in facts and logic would come to that conclusion, and therefore come into the chat, say something totally unjustified, and claim that I'm lying. Crazy, crazy, crazy,
bro. You need
crazy. And that was the entire conversation.
bro.
Change my mind like you now. Great, Sonny. Thank you.
Oh,
All right. Last few callers. I gotta go.
oh my god, so cringe.
Okay. Hell puppy. I'm just doing alphabetical. Sorry if I'm. What up, hell puppy?
Pisco's all emotions right now.
Hi, Pisco.
What up?
Hey, I wrote down my question so like it go faster because I know you're a little bit pressed for time.
Yep.
So help me remember, because I don't think your stream when you originally went over the H3 again like 3 streams back. I don't think that's. I think that's only for paid members by now. But at towards the end of it,
which one? The original one?
No, not the original one. The closer to now, where you went over and said something to the extent that you thought that that your original like judgment of it was a little bit weak.
Off.
Like,
Yeah. So no, that is not members only. That should be in the playlist. But
no, that's
okay.
fine. That's not the point of the thing. I'm just saying that I don't remember it per memory. So like so I might be slightly off on the detail, but I remember like some of the complaints of HE behavior as you laid them out were, I'm dragging them on top of my head, that it's a bit hypocritical to say the situation is not about money, but then take the money anyway, frame the action as good for or protecting good reactors, quote unquote, and then but not target the harder people that are, you know, by his own words, equally bad reactors.
Not precisely. So on the issue, sorry.
This is just laying out how I remember it.
Okay.
This is not the okay. So towards the end of your conversation with Hutch, towards the very end, where you were winding down, Hutch asked you, not word for word, but something approximating beyond the case's legal strength, what is your quarrels with his behavior or the suit?
Yep.
And the thing you laid down for him was the lying part. And I was wanting to ask you, is that to you what is the most important part, or the most condemnable part of the behavior? Is it a sort of the lying makes the crime worse kind of deal? And I was wondering if you could expand on that.
Yeah, so at this point, I'm not sure if I have an opinion about which is worse, the misrepresentation regarding the motivation behind the lawsuit, or at this point, I think the decision to initiate an infringement suit for the purpose of, or at least for one significant purpose, is silencing criticism. I take that to be kind of like an improper purpose. And so I guess I'm not sure what I view as more negatively. The notion that we would use the copyright statute, even though it would be legal to do, I'm not saying it wouldn't be legal to do, where a significant motivation.
Given for this, for what it's worth, my opinion is equal to yours. That you know, as a layman, I perceive the case to be legally strong. That in the infringement part.
Right.
But as I remember, and maybe you read the indictment, so maybe you can
complaint.
The complaint. Did it accuse her of defamation? Was that part of any litigation? Yeah. So, so speaking for myself, the thing I find a little worthy of sort of criticism in the behavior sense is that I think he's entitled to ask for.
Wait, never mind. Case, get in here. I remembered. Oh, Case, get in here.
Like the money that she made off his content, completely fair. But it seems weird to me that part of this is, and I understand he has a legal right to ask. But it seems.
Hey, Case, I remember what question I was going to ask you. is okay. You said at some point that some of my defenders are way too ardent and extreme in their defense of me. What's the spiel behind that?
If you want me to be totally honest, if you want to be completely real, I just think some of them are too autistic.
Oh, what do you mean?
It really just begins and ends there. I don't know. I think that it just seems like they want validation from DGG like a little too much, so it leads to like it leads to a more clicky vibe when it comes to your Discord, which obviously not or your fans. I mean, I don't think it's bad to like be clicky in that way, but when it leaks out, like I think other people perceive it as like, oh, these are just more weirdos, because they're going super hard. But when I say like super hard, I just mean like.
Is it? Wait, hold on. Is there?
That's it.
Is there any situation where like I don't know, like they're engaged in some kind of like crazy behavior or anything? Because I haven't really seen any. But maybe I'm like blinded because it's my own viewers.
Nah, I don't think it's
because I don't.
crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, do you have an example maybe before you levy an accusation like that, or?
Not necessarily off the top of my head right now. I guess I would have to go back and see. Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. It's just more of a general vibe that I get. And I do assume, I will say it's an assumption, that DGG gets the same vibe. But I could be wrong on this also. I don't want to like die on this hill.
Wait, hold on. You realize that whatever my viewers push back against DGG, it's not like it no matter how hard they go, it will never be as hard as DG going after me, right? Like it'll never go as hard.
Yeah,
as DG going after
100%.
me.
I agree. Yeah,
like the way that people
DGG
have been saying, like, I mean, not to like victim Andy myself, right? But like the people who have been saying like, oh my god, well, I hope that Food Shops dies. I hope that Food Shops dies or some shit like that. Yeah, like
Jesus
that seems a little bit crazy, bro. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Like so you shouldn't blame like people who defend me like a little bit much to defend against like, oh my god, I think Food Shops should literally die, right? Like, I don't know.
I think I agree with that, actually.
Yeah,
I definitely agree that the hate for you when it comes from DGG is like, it's too extreme sometimes. They act like you're an actual fucking monster. It's like, bro, chill. It's not that deep.
Bro, Destiny literally made the same exact arguments, like, as me, basically. Those identical arguments. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about when it comes to the lowly stuff.
Lolly?
That was really weird. And
no,
then
Destiny
Connor,
made the same arguments multiple times, and then Destiny then defended me like in front of Connor. Like it's the same fucking argument, right? Like so, it's like it's kind of surprising to me that they're willing to grant Steven so much grace and not being a pedo, even though he has way more of a history of being accused of pedo by other people and whatnot. It's just anyway, whatever. I'm not here to complain as Synchro Jerk, so that's it.
Okay, fair enough. All right, peace out.
All right, peace out. Bye.
Only for the purpose of ego and humiliation to ask her to essentially take back a whole bunch of stuff that is
on collateral matters. On collateral matters, yes, yeah. I mean, yeah. So I think it's bad because I think in any other context you would see that as trying to coerce a person related
my
to
thoughts exactly. My thoughts exactly. I feel like I'd be careful not to accuse anyone, but it feels tantamount to sort of bludgeoning somebody with a legal force to extract,
right. On issues of policy, on issues of whether he's a genocide denier, on issues of whether he's a Zionist, issues about whether or not it was right to say this thing about Asmongold, or whether or not it was right to like say shit about the fucking employees. The issues of anti-Semitism, all that should be litigated in the public forum through conversation and debate, except to the extent that maybe there's some like underlying legal claim if it's defamatory, like you mentioned. I think that's what you're getting at. If there's some kind of legal claim that is wrapped up in those issues, I could see myself, having a different opinion there.
And he might have a case there, but to my understanding, that isn't part of the litigation.
Right. Yeah.
And like the sort of example in my head to try to make this sort of another example. Like my understanding is that Kesa said bad things about Asmongold's mother, but what does that have to do with his sort of thing and extracting apologies on that? You might say that it's a fair apology to ask for, but it's not, it's not him. So in the future, if Denim, if she also settle, is he going to ask her to also apologize for her comments that she hopes veterans gets PTSD? That seems absurd to me at a certain level. No?
Oh, I think Frogan said that.
Oh, apologies. Is she not also part of that?
Yeah, she is sued as well. I just want to be. I don't know that. Maybe Denim said that as well, but no, that would be the kind of thing where I'm like, I'm starting to think that there might be an improper purpose, and in which case I think that's bad. Whether it's worse in the kind of lying aspect of it, I guess I'm withholding that opinion now. Like I'm not sure, but I do think both are bad.
But that's the thing with well, I mean, you say the whole mandatory apology letter is bad faith, right? Like it has ulterior motives. Well, I mean, even if we grant that, right? What's wrong with that? If that is how the law is written, then maybe you have an issue with the law. Maybe you don't have an issue with the way that Ethan is using the law. Because to be frank, why wouldn't I be using these loopholes as well? Why shouldn't I be also using these same tactics against enemies, right? If the law allows it. If the law allows something, why shouldn't I use something like that, right? It would make no sense for me to use all the tools at my disposal, right? If it's allowed, right? Lawyers are all about finding loopholes in the first place. That's the entire job. That's the entire job, is to find loopholes. Well, you're really telling me I'm going to prevent my lawyer from doing their job when, you know, I can take more? When I can take more if I could, and I just, like, there's some money. It's like there's some money lying there on the table, and you're telling me, okay, well, you shouldn't take it because it wouldn't be right. Motherfucker, the money is in front of me. I'm gonna take it, okay? It's a fucking $100 bill. Yeah, I don't feel safe like just leaving it there. It's mine now.
Yeah, and maybe I've spoken
Right?
too much
Yeah,
because
okay.
I'm not sure what the
Anyway.
sort of proper lines for this are, because I don't know anything about the litigation they settled, and we probably won't know anything. But like, it seems, at least from the outside looking in, as like I will, have a bunch of like concession only for my ego on top of what I'm sort of more reasonably owed.
So is Ethan making the world a better place? Yeah, but his goal is not to make the world a better place. I think it would be silly if you were to do any lawsuit to make the world a better place. That shouldn't be your stated goal.
But that's again my judgment,
Yeah.
or my opinion on the matter.
Well, listen, I appreciate your commentary there. I think we share some intuitions on the kinds of things that we don't like about the settlement, et cetera. And I think they're kind of tied up together, right? Like the reason why I'm more cynical about the motive with respect to the collateral matters is because I think that it's lacking on the copyright infringement side. And so I'm more apt to hold that the purpose is improper in the context of lies. I think it undermines credibility, and I think you should take a negative inference from it. But no, I think that we're aligned on that. And I appreciate.
But that's what ethics is, analyzing practices for their moral dimensions. Well, if there's no legal ramifications, right, then why shouldn't they do it?
Your comment.
That's it.
Yeah.
Can I
I mean, if we were to analyze things
I
that
have
way,
one
right?
last comment about something other short.
Yeah.
On your new interest of Scottish moral realism. It's been a while now.
Yeah.
But I put this in the chat, but in the same as Caseytron, I didn't put it. But I don't know much about the Scottish realism school, but I do know about them.
Ethan did do the lawsuit to make his world a better place. Oh, true. I mean, this is why I'm against him stating that, oh, he's doing it on behalf of the reactors, right? Like, I've always been consistent on that. I've always been consistent in having an issue with Ethan stating that is his reasoning. Yeah, that reasoning is fucking false, and it's lying, and it's wrong, right? Which I have been pretty clear about, I think. So I think I'm fine, okay?
Because I used to read
I'm
a little
intact.
bit of Hume's when I was
My
more
morals are
pretentious.
intact.
But I believe your interlocutor cited the school to a person called Thomas Witherspoon. I might be telling lies here, but I swear he said Thomas Witherspoon. Thomas Witherspoon is not a real person. He's confusing two people.
Oh, no.
John Witherspoon and Thomas Reed, who
Oh,
are both
no.
students, who are both, like, it's a fair mistake to make, and he probably just misspoke. I'm not saying this is a big thing.
Misspoke.
But this is the sort of punchline. Like, these two were both students of the guy who invented the school or founded Scottish moral realism as a philosophy, Francis Hutchin. And Francis Hutchin was investigated by the literal Inquisition
Hutch?
for heresy, which I feel like might be relevant for somebody that is a little bit of a presuppositionalist. It's too long to sort of go into what the church's beef was with the guy, but I find that a funny antidote to this whole thing.
No, I appreciate that, and no, thank you. Maybe I'll bring that up. I think I'm going to talk to him next week about some of the SCOTUS cases.
To be clear, investigated here just means that the church said, I think you're a little bit wrong here. He was not like officially charged or put in jail or something like that.
No, I appreciate that clarification, but it might be something to poke him with. So thank you for that.
Okay. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. All right, we are running out of time. I am interested in disagreeers. I hope you guys appreciate that I love you very much. Even the people who are unhinged,
Wait, hold on. If this is the end of the stream, why is there like a bunch left?
I just want to.
Oh, no, is he just reading some
Learn
legal document?
I just want to learn you. What up?
How's it going?
Oh,
How's it
no.
going?
Oh, never mind. There's another one.
So I was listening to the Hutch convo this morning.
Yeah.
Working. It was very well. First, I listened to the Rob Knorr conversation.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that was great for you.
Joy. I agreed with you on. I don't really care about the Ethan stuff because it's Ethan, whatever.
You see, Lavon with J-Stel got him triggered even when he went against his Ethan shit, Limvow. Lav? I mean, she hops on J-Stel sometimes, right? Like, she doesn't hop on all the time, but she hops on sometimes. When was this?
But I found the culpability conversation was interesting. Particularly, like, I agree with you on it. Basically, everything about that case, other than when Hutch brought up if you leave a gun out and your kid gets it and then injures themselves or kills themselves. You said the parent is held culpable there. They're held legally culpable.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Like, I mean, I think you get manslaughter charges in some jurisdictions or whatever.
Yeah, no. Did you hear me to deny that?
No, it didn't. It didn't get talked about. It kind of got. I think then he went onto the street, bad part of town, whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like that.
She had him and his chat mad when she didn't agree with him about Ethan and called them out on their BS standards. Okay, all right, we'll check out that next.
Sense of culpability, because it's not direct culpability. It's like this sort of like passive,
that sounds fun.
Secondary thing, and you even have it listed out on your thing, like the moderate chat 1 and then the call CPS 2.
Yeah.
Like I feel like having that sort of environment or this conditions there built up where that sort of thing would be possible. Like there is culpability in that too. It's just like a secondary thing.
You know, that's what I was trying to clarify, which is, yes, they're culpable for their violation. And here I'm talking about ethical culpability. You're bringing up legal culpability because to the extent that it informs our intuitions about ethical culpability, right? So I understand what you're saying. Right. But yes, I agree that the person who leaves the gun out is culpable. But what they're culpable for is what they actually, the obligation that they violated, what their sort of, the thing is
it's
that
not
they
murder.
didn't do. Right,
it wouldn't
right.
be murder. Yeah,
Correct.
I understand. And so she's not culpable for making the call.
Correct.
She would be culpable for
Reckless, right, exactly.
allowing for the call to happen.
Now maybe there's evidence out there that she actually wanted it to occur. Maybe there's evidence.
Wait, what? That's not okay. If you said that during the Hutch debate, you you wouldn't have a debate anymore. I don't think Hutch would disagree with that, motherfucker. Like then you're just clearly dishonest, right? Like you just want to debate for the sake of debate and to virtue signal to your lefty audience. If you did actually have an issue with her saying that, but you're charging her under a different a different sin, right? Then what was the entire point of that? Then that's just then you just have a disagreement over word definitions. That's it. You wouldn't have a debate in the first place. What the fuck, bro? Like, this is like so fucking, oh my god, what a dishonest fuck.
That she's the person who called. Which is,
okay,
yes, they're culpable for their violation. And here I'm talking about ethical culpability. You're bringing up legal culpability because to the extent that it informs our intuitions about ethical culpability, right? So I understand what you're saying. Right. But yes, I agree that the person who leaves the gun out is culpable. But what they're culpable for is what they actually, the obligation that they violated, what their sort of, the thing is
it's
that
not
they
murder.
didn't do. Right,
it wouldn't
right.
be murder. Yeah,
Correct.
I understand. And so she's not culpable for making the call.
Correct.
She would be culpable for
Reckless, right, exactly.
allowing for the call to happen.
Now maybe there's evidence out there that she actually wanted.
She wouldn't be culpable for making the call. She would be culpable for allowing it to happen. What are we doing here? So you spent all that time malding and arguing with people over that? So she wouldn't be... Hold on. So she wouldn't be... Over that? I don't believe it. No, I don't believe it. Nope. I don't believe it. I think that he is trying to backwards justify his horrible debate performance. Okay, in my opinion, but
to occur. Maybe there's evidence that she's the person who called. What are you saying? On current facts, no one's been able to make that case.
I don't factor boring. For me, this one, like,
I'm good.
It literally just read and see who did what, and that's for all the no life.
You appreciate like the normative conversation more.
Yeah, because that's what's interesting is like what culpability really means and what responsibilities you have, and you even like acknowledge streamers do have some sort of responsibility for that stuff. And Hutch, I think the direct words you were using were not the words he was used to hearing or wanted to hear or something like that. But I mean, I feel like that point was the closest you had to any sort of agreement was like, yeah, there is like some sort of responsibility people have, but you just didn't assume the direct culpability versus he sees that one inevitably leads to another, which I mean, that's up to the crazy again.
But I think that's not the either lack of understanding of Hutch or the lack.
You use the standard you use for legal culpability for moral culpability, and it makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense because he's trying to divide the arguments in the first place, right? He's trying to make a differentiation between moral and legal arguments in the first place. Okay, dude. Okay, man. All right, man. Okay, dude.
Pisco thinks that she's not culpable at all.
Okay,
and
I see how it is.
They're either just not getting it.
I see how the game is played.
You should understand.
I would say, there is a segment of, even just listening in a little bit, there's a segment of I mean, I've been a long time listener. I just don't chat much. There's a segment of your YouTube chat, at least, and they are avid Hutch haters and Destiny haters and all this stuff. And I don't know where this, like, these people are crazy.
And I don't know what, like, people think I ought to do with that, because they're Destiny fans and they're...
So you should just leave it be? You're okay with your chat being a bunch of crazy haters? Like, you do realize that when... Okay, so you guys know me, right? When you guys go crazy... Okay, when you guys go crazy, I'm pretty sure I have called you guys out multiple times, right? Do you guys remember me calling you guys out multiple times? I'm pretty sure I've done that. I'm pretty sure I've done like, oh, you guys hate these people only specifically because you hate them, right? Only not because you actually disagree with their principle. You're not actually thinking of the principle. You're not actually disagreeing with the principle. It's because you have a disagreement with them as a person, letting it blind you. Your hatred of them blinds you, right? Like I'm pretty sure I've made that kind of argument before in my chat at the very least, bro. These people are not. These people are hoes, okay? These people are hoes, okay? On God, for real, okay?
There are Destiny haters, and there are Hutch fans and Hutch haters in my community and in my comments. And my approach has been, let them battle out their ideas and say what they want to say. If it gets too fucking drama-y, it's going to violate one of our rules. But but in general, I'm not going to. These are places that are open to people. People come with different appreciations and understandings of these communities, and I'm not going to like just ban them because they have a view on that. Or what do you think?
Of course not. I'm trying really hard not to get one guy by this dude. Yeah. So I would contrast, like I agree with you. You can't select your community, obviously. But when we look to people like Ryan Mullally, the base centrist, and you look at his YouTube comments and what they're saying, they're not like centrists. They're Republicans.
Yeah.
And so it's something, there is...
Oh, this guy's a DGer. Yeah, I can tell, okay? They have the DG breath on them, okay? Some people just smell like DGers, you know what I mean? Some people just simply reek of the DG energy, you can sense
something
them.
In the things he is saying that speaks
enemies,
to them.
You are hiding enemies of the state, are you not?
He might not be conscious. He probably isn't. He probably is conscious of it. But for a lot of people who have these like sort of anti-fan communities, I'm thinking of DSP in my head, Darkside Phil. But that those sort of people, the creator is doing something that attracts those sort of people, whether or not they're aware of it. And so I feel like you should never be like, whoa.
Bro, you should never ever. Oh my God, like shouldn't moderating the community culture matter? I feel like I actually moderate the community culture a lot. Like I've always placed a lot of emphasis on moderating my community culture, because if there is anybody who is being like some creepy weirdo or some kind of whatever, it disrupts the entire community. It makes the entire community like not be in flux anymore. It messes up things, right? Like I would never ever want somebody who is I don't know, some fucking obnoxious debate bro or some fucking gooner who goes after women to be in my community, right? Like what the fuck? Because then it shapes the entire community by who I allow and who I don't allow, right?
Where is this coming from? I don't know. You're obviously aware of some sort of discourse with that, but I feel like that always strikes me as interesting because the people are tuning in for what the people want to tune into, and it's not there on its own. It's never. It doesn't just grow on its own. But I just don't know anything about.
Yeah, like I hear what you're saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, how you handle your community is also a reflection of yourself, okay?
I think I understand what you're saying. I think that there is... Listen, I know that, for example, I'm not going to claim ignorance when I know Just Still reacts to some of my content. I know that Connor reacts to my content. I know that Destiny reacts to my content. I know that, so different communities react to my content for different things. And that is...
He fucking missed one, bro.
That's something that I don't control. That is something that I don't promote. Like I'm not asking Just Still to react to my content. I'm not asking Connor to react to my content. I'm not asking Destiny to react to my content. And I've reacted to his debate with Soy Pill and that stuff. And so people, that's going to occur. And I just don't understand why the implication is therefore that I'm part of snarker communities, because people who I don't control, who I am not encouraging in any respect, react to my stuff and who happen to exist either in my comments or in my server through no encouragement of mine and subject to the same rules and restrictions as any other person.
Yeah, I agree. You don't do anything explicitly. And I don't think these people are just looking for their outlets to vent out.
But that's not true. That's not how things work in the real world, right? Like in the real world, what happens is that your mod team is going to have certain biases, right? And the people in your server, depending on the way that they argue and depending on what they're allowed to do, is going to argue in certain types of way and make certain arguments and do certain things that outline how the community is going to be viewed. And other people who are otherwise going to be good community members are pushed away, right? If you let your community do whatever the fuck they want, right? And you're not aware of any other community or something like that, then ultimately it's just not... You need to read the space. You need to be able to read the space, right? Otherwise, you can't really justify some leftist streamer trying to ban all the red pillars from their chat and their community when the red pill movement was in full effect, right? You don't want them in your server. You don't want them a part of your community, right? Of course not, right?
And if you say you have an open free speech community and that's just you're semi-adjacent to all of the sorts of people involved with it. So it just seems like a good breeding ground of it all. So I'm not. This isn't. You're not at fault or anything. I don't care.
Well,
like, the people on the internet are gonna be super people on the internet. Like,
yeah.
who cares?
No, I appreciate that. I just like I understand that it feels like it feels a little bit like, oh, woe is me. I love having tolerance and people who say they disagree with me or like whatever they say. But truly, the reason I open these calls is because I do want to hear if I'm wrong about something. Like, why else would I do this kind of open calls? Like, I am interested in people who have dissenting views, and so me engaging with it isn't. In some sense, I think it's like, yeah, I am trying to defend myself, but there are tons of haters within my comments. Like one of them, Debate Bore, this guy, Lisandro Peña, who's always in my fucking. I don't fucking get rid of them, and they say some malicious shit and shit that's wrong or wrong-headed. But you know what? I love my haters in that sense. What annoys me is when like people say fucking shit they can't defend or they don't come and talk. But that's that's.
I mean, you're arguing with Stony McStoner 69. Like, I don't. This dude is not a serious guy.
Yeah, fuck, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it's all memes. But I do appreciate what you're having to say.
One more. Pisco's World on the Twitter Spaces.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
We need some more of that. That was excellent.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, like,
I understand the situation's a little odd and difficult to navigate with that. But
yeah, and just to comment on that for a second, like, I don't want to wade into a lot of. So, for example, the person who was supposed to come in and talk to me here today, they're like, "You're a hypocrite because you're not covering the lawsuit and litigation involving Destiny." That's not true. I have a basis and reason that I don't do it, and sometimes you're never going to know like the reason that I do something or don't do another thing. Doesn't mean I don't have a reason for it. As it happens with that litigation, specifically in my commentary on it, I have made my views clear about why I don't do it. Whether they care or they think that those reasons are convincing or not, that's on you. I mean, those are my reasons. I am applying a standard to what I choose to cover and what I don't choose to cover. And likewise, there will be aspects of my behavior or who I choose to interact with and on what terms that people are going to disagree with. Understand, it's not a one-to-one thing about like who I think is the worst person or who I think is a bad person. The standard or what I view and like the reason why I might interact with one person versus another on certain terms or certain topics versus other topics or certain things doesn't turn exclusively on my intuition about whether these people are bad people, whether they are communities are bad. Sometimes it relates to things that don't one-to-one compare. So I can understand people being like, well, he hangs out with Rob Noor, right? He fucking does content with people who believe the country was like, but you understand that it's not. There's no like one-to-one just because someone is a worse person. Then a good example of this is like, right, let's say you hang out with so
I agree. I think that argument's all stupid. Like whoever you hang out with, especially like it's content. It's a good job. It's your duty. Yeah.
One's reasons for doing a thing or interacting with one person or another aren't necessarily reasons for whether a person is good or bad, and I don't want people to take it that way. And there are some reasons that you'll never know because I am not going to talk about them or release them.
Why not present that again instead of clarifying?
And I know that that's frustrating for certain people. And I know that that's like sad for people, but like I have other obligations, other responsibilities, and other reasons why I don't disclose everything all the time. And all I can ask for you is like try to understand some of it.
No, I understand. This is all internet entertainment for me. I have no stake in anything. Like I don't get invested in this stuff. I think it's silly when people care about all that. But I was just I had a point on that.
Yeah.
I want to go quick because this dude wants to talk to you.
Which dude?
The waiting for 4 hours guy.
Okay, yeah.
I don't remember. That's fine.
Okay.
Who?
Hey,
have a good night.
Thank you, man. Hey, I appreciate your comments. Okay.
Not clarifying.
Oh. All right, we'll do. Yo, so you already went. You fucking. So we're gonna do the last two. Waited for 4 hours and then Young Wiz, and that's it, and no one else coming. Yo, what up? Waited for 4 hours.
Copium.
Can you talk? You're a little quiet.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah, I actually did wait for 4 hours. So
I believe you. Say something.
Okay, so basically, my problem is the way you approach the conversation with Hutch. So I feel like you wasted so much time talking about CBS, poop, Giardia, whatever, when it should have been like, did Ethan Klein have a reason to sue these people?
When you say
Klein,
yeah, so like when you say reason, what do you mean? Like an ethical reason or ethical justification?
Okay, so he's suing for copyright, right?
Correct.
What does fucking CBS? Sorry for
hello,
maybe I shouldn't choose that. What does CBS, Giardia, what harassment, whatever that means, snark has to do with copyright?
Well, that's my point, but it presumably.
I feel like you haven't seen. Like you conceded to Hutch, like at the start of the argument, I said, I don't want to talk about his reason. I don't want to talk about why he's suing. I don't care about that. What do you mean I don't care about it? I feel like you should have hammered on that point because this is like, are you saying Ethan's lying? Because he conceded to say like, I don't care if he's lying.
EG has a bloodlust for Pisco, and it's so confusing. I think what's confusing to me is the fact that Pisco forces all of his opponents to dig up every single piece of evidence ever for the most mundanest of things that he claims that he has no knowledge of. Like, for example, the fact that Straighterade is a Marxist-Leninist, something during that time is kind of like an open secret and something that she doesn't even deny. The fact that Pisco says, oh, I don't know whether or not she is a Marxist-Leninist, and he forces Destiny to go through the embarrassing procedure in the middle of a debate to try to dig up the evidence for him, while he then says, oh, I've known that she is a Marxist-Leninist this entire time. Yeah, that's bad faith. That's of course that's bad faith. You're forcing your opponent to dig up something in a way that embarrasses them, right? So just so that you can get just so then you can see them writhe in pain, trying to find evidence of something, so then you can claim something over them, right? Like, yeah, that's cruel behavior. That's not good guy behavior. That's actually bad guy behavior, right? You're one of these guys who are in Pisco's chat? Oh, not me, right? But yeah, like, anyway, like, does that make sense? Like,
okay, so you don't care his life.
yeah.
Oh, okay, it's like, it's content. It's content. Okay, so I can go ahead and say, oh, Hutch is like whatever. Like, Hutch is a criminal. Hutch is a pedophile. Oh, I'm doing for content. It's okay if I like for content. Like, what do you mean by that? Because you're going to debate lawyer box, right? And the reason I don't want this to be just about.
Wait, what?
Okay.
3 ads just to see the stream? Kick
Hey,
stream.
Young Wiz.
What? Dude, he kicked that person? What? Wait, what did that person do wrong?
Hey, 1 second.
How can I help you?
How's it going?
What's
Yeah,
up?
so I'm not sure if I disagree with you, but I'm curious, who do you
What did I
blame
do wrong?
for the CPS call?
The person who called CPS.
Do you think that there's any, like, what about like the anti-fan community? Like, do you think it would have happened without this anti-fan community he's kind of cultivated?
Would it have happened but for the anti-fan community? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
The CPS call. I don't know because I don't know the facts about who called CPS.
Oh, I mean, what would you guess? Would you think it's more probable?
What? Oh my lord. Okay, dude, he's so bad faith. It's crazy how bad faith Pisco is, bro.
They're not, or no?
I think the existence
Dude.
of anti-fan communities and snarkers,
That's
that community existing at all, increases significantly likelihood that CPS is called. If that's what you're getting at. I don't know the actual causality. I just happened.
Wait, hold on. If you can make that guess, then surely you can assign some level of blame, right? Isn't that the argument that everybody wants you to concede on?
I think that it's likely that that contributed to the CPS call. That's my intuition. I can't prove it.
All right, so you think it's probably someone in the anti-fan community who called? Like, that's like...
I'm not sure.
That's your intuition right now?
My intuition is it probably is.
Okay. Yeah, like, to me, I'm not sure, like, this word culpability, I'm not trying to say you're doing a trick or anything, but I don't know. Like, what if I use the word blame? Like,
I view that as
like,
yeah, I view that as interchangeable. Blame, moral fault,
okay,
culpable. They're all the same thing.
Yeah, so would it be okay to say, I mean, would it be okay in your view to say that the anti-fan community deserves some amount of blame for that CPS call, more than likely?
I'm not sure because...
Are you actually fucking kidding me? What? Are you retarded? Are we retarded? Okay, so 99% of rapes in the United States are caused by men. Do you think men in general can be blamed for this? To some degree? Not all the degrees, but to some degree? I think the most sane answer is yes, right? Right? I can't be crazy. I can't be crazy. Am I losing my mind here? I'm not crazy here, okay? I'm yeah, men as a whole, collective punishment style, men as a whole can be blamed to some degree, right? What the fuck? I'm so confused. Whatever, man.
What I told you was that it makes it the thing more likely.
Cisco would ask for proof. The proof is that 99% of rapes are committed by men.
The anti-fan community. But just because a situation makes something more likely doesn't mean that I'm going to impose blame or culpability to that group. Like, for example, the fact that there's a group of people who are dedicated to calling Trump fascist and saying he's a horrible piece of shit and that he's a criminal and deserves to be whatever he deserves to be done, that almost certainly increases the likelihood that someone makes an attempt on Trump in the all else equal. Correct? Agreed?
Perhaps, but I don't think that would...
Why is that hard? You don't think that people making claims about Trump...
I mean,
you know what I'll say? You know what I'll say if somebody made that point to me? I'll say, yeah, to some degree, yeah, the left-leaning people saying how Trump is bad, the blame is not zero, okay? The blame is not zero. I agree with that. However, it makes no sense to call for left-leaning people to de-escalate rhetoric regarding Trump when Trump himself is responsible for 95% of the rhetoric, right? Does that make sense? Like, that would be my argument. Is that, yeah, you know what? I would probably assign like 5% of the blame or 3% of the blame to left-leaning people. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, I'm not afraid to do that. I'm not afraid to assign like 5% of the blame to left-leaning people. However, if you go anywhere above 5%, then I disagree with you. Because Democrats have done every single thing in their power to de-escalate the situation. I think it's dishonest to say that, yeah, I think it's dishonest to mention that Democrats have been causing violence when you don't mention the Republicans in any way whatsoever, right? Like that would probably be my my shtick.
I'll just say yes. I mean, there's like I could go off on a tangent there, but like I'll just say yes for that.
Okay,
but
the mere fact that it makes it more likely doesn't mean that you would blame them if something in fact.
No, of course not.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But like we both don't we both agree that it's more likely than not that someone from the anti-fan community did this, just with like the timeline of events?
Just like it's all else equal, more likely that's a critic of Trump or someone who hates Trump from a community of people who are against Trump is the person who tried to kill Trump, right? All else equal.
I would say that's more than likely, yeah.
But then you wouldn't blame all Trump haters for someone trying to kill Trump, would you? That's the Republican argument.
No, you wouldn't. But like if someone said, like I think peddling the rumor that like this child is in danger with this like rare disease, that like.
Well, hang on a second.
That type of distributing that rumor.
Did Ethan do that? Did Ethan do that?
Ethan mentioned like some stuff that was happening.
He said that he has.
Can I answer?
Yeah.
You mind if I answer? Yeah. So like Ethan runs a comedy podcast where he talks about his life in a humorous way, and then a month later, his anti-fan community kind of like brought this up and kind of made it like a talking point, and they kind of had a little hate boner off of it for a while, and that's about that time is when the call was made, right? We both agree on that, right? Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming that's the timeline. I don't have perfect recall of the timeline, but I'm assuming that's correct.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, like the timeline just points to like this hit off when this caught fire again in the anti-fan community, right? So I would distribute blame like that. I would say like, okay, the people spreading this rumor, because when you like, if you go out there and you say a child is in danger with a rare disease, you know, I think that's kind of like that is tantamount to a call to action, I think.
So, for example, if I say that Trump is a fascist, he's a danger to the country, which is also how I say he wants to make a dictatorship. He's trying to take away all your rights. He's sending people to torture gulags, and he wants to have the right to just kill people unilaterally. Is that a call to action?
I think I definitely think it's pressing some of the buttons. You know,
wait, is it a call to action? It's a question.
I said it's tantamount to a call to action.
Is it tantamount to a call to action?
I mean, you're talking about like you're saying call to action to do what? To kill the president?
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, not really, because I feel like that's like such a, hard thing to do. Not like I would know, but like you like that. It's like if you said there's like a bunch of gold on the moon, and that would be like tantamount to a call to action to get to the moon, but that's like not easy to do. However, making a CPS call is very easy to do.
So if it were easy to go after Trump, and I said that, like, you think it would be that would change whether, even if it were my genuine opinion, even though I'm saying that it would be a call to action to do it? Oh,
yeah, I think if you like really press a problem to like a people who are really receptive to that, it's like it's a call to action to solve that problem. If you're saying like a kid's gonna die because of a rare disease,
yeah, I'm saying you're gonna lose your country, right? I'm gonna lose your country.
Pisco's pretty bad at communicating in general. Yeah, because he's too autistic. But he's narcissistic, right? So he keeps on thinking it's the fault of the other person instead of himself. When in actuality, I think it's totally reasonable to say that, yeah, Pisco is contributing to the fact that he can't communicate with people, right? Like instead of changing the way that he is speaking, he instead goes to, oh, well, you know, clearly it's the other person.
You're gonna get dictatorship,
right?
Yeah, I think in certain situations that could be a call to action. Just like talking about a kid who is sick is a lot of times not a call to action, right?
Wait, but like, no, it's not a call to action, man. I mean, you can't really. If this is the standard, right? So I'll give you another example. People say of anti-vaxxers, you're really threatening the lives of your kid. You're really fucking. This is wrong. When they're reviewing anti-vax content, imagine hypothetical. They say these parents are imperiling the lives of their children if they don't inoculate them against these diseases that are really harmful for their children. Is that a call for CPS?
I think
it's a tantamount to a call.
Yeah, I'll say it's tantamount to a call to the right audience, right? Like that's the other factor of this thing.
No.
I mean, it has to be. It has to be. If I say that to a guy on the subway, I mean, who's gonna be like, okay, but if I say that to like a group of like people who tune into like a hate show, right? Like a hate boner show of this show. I think that's really stoking the fires. You're peddling that, you know.
The question isn't stoking the fires. The question is, are you culpable for someone who later on calls CPS on the anti-vax people?
Yeah, I think the entire anti-fan community will share blame depending on how much they influence the person, because I think that person was influenced by a community.
Let's distill it in a rule. I see someone doing the anti-vax and they talk about their kids. Kids are so much healthier. They're using snake's blood or whatever they're using, and they're not doing vaccinations. And the rule is, do not criticize that or call attention to it because it might stoke the flame of someone calling CPS on them. Is that the moral ought?
I would say, hold on. Sorry, could you run that by me again?
Yeah. So you just said that the example I gave about the vaccinations, that was tantamount to a call to action with respect to a certain community. That's what you said, right? Did you?
Are we a hate boner show? We are.
You say that?
Yeah, I think so. It could be.
Yeah, okay. So I'm
Jay's talk?
I'm asking you,
Absolutely.
therefore, if that's your conclusion, then the moral ought is do not cover this on your stream because it's tantamount to a call CPS, which of course is unjustified.
I would say, well, can you hold on?
First?
I'm not trying to dodge.
Yeah.
I have to modify it a little bit to make it totally analogous, but you can tell me if it doesn't work for you. I think like if it's about a specific person, I think that changes everything.
Really?
You know, if there's like one anti-vaxxer and a bunch of like, you know, vaccine people, we're spending months like kind of stalking this guy or person online, I think that changes the calculus a little bit. Do you?
No.
No, really? So it's like if you have a group of people who are like,
that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. It doesn't change Pisco's calculus if you cover them every single day. If you're like a hater show, what?
Are all kind of mobbing around somebody, and someone is saying, "Hey, he's gonna hurt his kid. He's gonna hurt his kid." That to me, that just feels like a totally different.
That's so weird. Then therefore, you can just say that when people were oh my god, I want Pisco to answer this. I want Pisco to answer this. Holy shit, I want Pisco to answer this. If we know that Steven has been swatted, do you think that if the anti-fan communities did not exist, that maybe, just maybe, the swatting wouldn't have happened? Oh my god, somebody please make him answer that.
Situation and saying
it'll be so sexy. It'll be so sexy. You have no idea how sexy it'll be.
It changes the calculus about whether you have culpability, because I don't think any of these people deserve culpability.
You don't think anybody does? Okay, so let me ask you a question on that.
Let me just be clear. For the thing itself. Okay. For the thing itself.
Gotcha. So would it have happened if the anti-fan community didn't exist? You might have already answered this.
Yeah, you're just repeating the same thing. But I'm just.
Okay.
I can't imagine anyone denying that. Yeah, but Pisco might. That's the spicy part, right?
I'm going to give you the same. Yeah. So I suspect that the snark community is. So I can't.
You're just saying no. Well, then I want to hear him say no.
Cause of the thing happening, but then I provided you the countless examples where, notwithstanding that someone is a but-for cause, right? Like you agreed, don't you? I just want to answer this. Just answer it first, and then you can explain.
I will.
Ethan himself is a but-for cause for the CPS call, correct?
Yeah. If Ethan,
okay.
Yes. Of course. Because Ethan. What do you mean?
Right. But
Ethan didn't exist. If Ethan never made the clip.
So then this is the logic, right? So, but he's not culpable. Fair.
Dog whistling is not the same thing suggesting the BE video. Yeah, they're literally calling. Yeah, she is literally calling for it. Yes. This is why this entire argument is retarded too.
CPS call?
Yeah.
No, he's a victim.
Okay,
yeah.
Right. He's not culpable. He's a victim, isn't he?
Yeah, but Denham's a victim.
I didn't say that Denham's a fucking victim. Holy shit. Can you guys like, it's not like, it's like, I'm not saying what I'm not saying.
Come on.
All right.
Let's get to it.
So I didn't say that Denham's a victim. I didn't say that. But so the mere fact that you're a but-for cause of a triggering incident doesn't make it so you have culpability. So everything you have to say about the Star community is a but-for cause. It doesn't get you to where you want to go, because just being a but-for cause doesn't make you culpable. You need to show a violation of an ethical obligation.
Yeah, I think people have an ethical obligation, especially if they're like make a living critiquing somebody or like, you know, kind of hating on someone. I think you have an ethical obligation to really draw clear boundaries, you know, and a lot of communities will do this. Where
I agree with that.
All right, message this person, like they're like a locale, right?
I agree. Let me stop. I agree with that. And if you don't do that, you violated that obligation. What you haven't done is taken on culpability for the call itself. That's what's the difference. And I don't know why that isn't intuitive to people, because it just seems very obvious to me. But
all right, yeah, I mean, I guess it's not intuitive to me. But
wait. So sorry, you've intrigued me. So if let's take the murder example, right? If someone tells their daughter to go to the bad part of town, to go pick up some pizza because he likes it from there. He knows that it's dangerous. He knows there have been murders there. He knows that it's possible, even like a decent chance potentially, that something bad happens to his daughter. And notwithstanding that, he doesn't want his daughter to be killed in this example, right? So so he doesn't actually want her to be hurt in any respect. He just wants the pizza, and he sends her to the bad part of town. Lo and behold, she's murdered. Is this person?
No, raped and murdered. Okay, we have to change it to that. Okay, listen, you're probably questioning yourself. Wait, why is that necessary? Like, why do you have to bring up the rape part? No, it's necessary, okay? Because the analogy wouldn't be like, it wouldn't be complete until it has been brought to its, let's just say, logical extreme, okay? It has to be brought to its logical extreme, okay, for this to work.
Right? Culpable for the murder.
I think they're
because he didn't.
You know,
he didn't.
Hold on. Okay, I know you want a yes or no to every question, but to me, he's culpable to the death. I'm not sure the distinction there, but I kind of see one.
Here's the distinction, obviously, which I think should be intuitive, that we place much lower moral culpability for someone who recklessly causes the death of their daughter as to someone who intentionally, maliciously.
Much lower? Much lower. You sure about that?
Kills their daughter, okay? And that's why it matters to specify which of the ethical obligations you violated. Did you violate the ethical?
Also, not only that, to be very fair, this isn't even too accurate of the example, because you have to remember that it was being called for, right? Like, the actual act was called for verbatim by denims as much as she could without being caught, right? Like, we're not even entertaining the possibility of her making some vague gesture, right? There's a massive difference in my mind to all this, right?
Obligation to refrain from recklessly causing the death of your child, or did you violate the ethical obligation to refrain from intentionally and maliciously killing your own daughter? You understand why it matters to suss out which?
Yes,
Okay.
I get that example.
All right.
So I think there's an ethical obligation to, like, if you have a community that's like, that is really like towing the line of being a kind of hateful place for an individual, I think you really have to toe that line. I think you have an ethical obligation.
I agree.
And I think if you stoke and peddle in these rumors and it spills out into the real world, you share some of that blame.
Base, this person has to be a Food Shelves watcher. Or not.
Not for something you didn't do, right?
Probably not.
Not for calling CPS, but for CPS having been called.
Only to the extent of the violation of the ethical obligation to refrain from clear delineations or whatever that is. But we would put a much lower ethical weight to that violation that we're assuming, I just want to be clear, we're assuming it's a but-for cause and that there's a relation between it being a but-for cause and the violation of the obligation with respect to maintaining decorum and clarity in the community. But that is much lower culpable conduct than culpability for the call in the intentional sense of the substantive act. That's why it's so important to suss out that difference. And you acknowledge that difference in the context of the murder. Do you disagree with what I just said? You don't disagree, do you?
I'm saying, I don't know what you just said. Sorry, you're talking a mile a minute. So could you simplify that for me? Sorry.
One has an ethical obligation to refrain from having their community not clearly delineate the nature of what one ought to do with respect to like a locale person or someone that they're attacking, right? So one should be clear when they're criticizing the content creator. I don't want this person hurt. I don't want you harassing this person, right? So that's an ethical obligation. Agreed?
Yeah, I think so.
A different ethical obligation is to refrain from maliciously or improperly calling CPS on someone, correct?
This is why people hate lawyers. No, this is why people hate bad lawyers. No, this is why some people hate lawyers overall. It's because of people like Pisco. Because I'm sure there's plenty of amicable lawyers who aren't like assholes.
Yeah.
Okay, they're different. Agreed?
Yeah, they're...
It's when you're acting like a complete asshat is why people dislike you, right?
They're one's more specific than the other. Yeah, they're different.
Okay, and the violation of one does not entail the other, correct?
You could, essentially, you could like do the greater harm of just spreading malicious rumors all the time without any singular harm actually breaking out into the real world, right?
So is the answer they don't entail each other, correct?
Yeah, I would say they don't entail each other.
Right. So if someone who does the former isn't culpable for the latter unless they
necessarily. Sorry, they don't entail each other necessarily.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. So someone who does the former does not violate the latter unless they do the latter, right?
Sorry, someone from the former can't violate the latter?
You're not culpable for ethical violations that you haven't done, right?
No, of course not.
Okay, so just because a person is ethically culpable for not maintaining decorum in the way that I described for their community, and they are guilty of that, or whatever other reason blameworthy of that, doesn't mean that they're blameworthy or culpable for the other act itself. That's the point I'm trying to drive home.
Okay, all right. I think I'm done. Cringe. Okay, okay. I think I'm good. What did somebody say that they wanted me to cover? Oh, let me see. Wait, what happened? That was big? I remember there was something that was big, right? That happened? Somebody confronted someone and somebody's head exploded or some shit? I don't know. Yeah. There's no way. Why is he doing this?
I can take him.
Why is he still doing free like why is he still doing free like fucking why is he still doing free loadouts? What? What do you mean? He's using Green Hawkman? Oh my lord.
I got hella trinket.
Dude. I feel like I'm watching a retarded child play.
Let's go to that metro.
Oh my god.
Kill this guy in here?
Can you stop sneaking around? Bro, just go for it. What the? Oh my lord. Why are you so scared? What? Okay, alright. Never mind. Maybe our playstyles don't even match in the first place. Like, what is this, like, fucking... Do you know what I'm doing? Okay? Fast in, fast out. Okay? That's what I do. Every single game. Every single game, fast in, fast out. Alright? Like, the way I play this game is, like, full aggro. Yeah. Stream snipe him? Maybe. Wait, somebody talked about, sorry, somebody talked about like so somebody talked about like this argument that somebody was having or something, like J-Stalk crashing. Yeah, I think it was J-Stalk, right? Fuck, let me see. J-Stalk arguing in Lav over something? Question mark.
But without a doubt, right? Stop.
So I
And
probably
is
a
Pond
fucking reach,
still
which is
happening?
away with this.
So we
It's
have.
like, I told you, it's very erudite coded, right? It's very.
Dude, what the fuck? No, that's cursed, bro. That's fucked. This is cursed. This is cursed,
Ari and
bro.
Nick do this all the time.
This is cursed. This is cursed. This is cursed. This is fucking cursed, okay?
When they like, when it's like sort of a trade-offs argument, or when it's like not something that's super clear.
Nah, bro. Do you know what's happening? The anti-fans are looking to Radiant as a source of inspiration. I think that's what's going on.
On
Okay, what is
YouTube.
this?
JK. We're here every single night.
You don't need to wear the towel. Take off the blanket.
You sue them for copyright, and then you go.
Wait, what timestamp? What
So,
timestamp?
actually, I won't put you at a house and home. I won't make your parents homeless. If
Why would you not?
You
Why
just
would
say
you
my
not
dick's really
sue
big.
someone for copyright if you could? Why would you not?
Because if you operate in a space that is predicated on people being able to criticize
With that too, if you don't want to say that, then you don't have to say
Good,
that. You can say something else.
a truly tiny person would say something along the lines of, well, actually, I just want to like, I really don't care about the money. I'll spend thousands, tens of thousands, $50,000, $60,000 just to get you to say, I'm sorry, Asmongold's mom. I'm sorry, Asmongold, for saying you killed your mom. I can't imagine anything more pathetic or petty.
I mean, you don't have to say that. You can literally like mediate with your lawyers. You don't have to say exactly that.
Hold on, you understand that in this case, the reason she had to say that was because it was very likely she would lose the copyright claim, right? And she would lose her house. Her parents would be homeless. Her disabled parents would be homeless.
Her disabled parents.
She would have done fucking anything
Her trans,
to stop this.
black, disabled parents would be homeless. She's the underdog.
No, her parents
Yeah,
are
I don't
literally
know.
disabled.
I think you should probably find like a better job to take care of your parents than be a fucking drama react streamer if your parents need help.
Wait.
I agree with that.
So like
I don't think
that's
Casey
her
Tron does
L.
good content. I think she should find a different job because she sucks at her job.
I think she purposely disabled her parents for attention.
Uh-huh.
Wait, is that relevant in Straight Raid? Oh, on Queeman's stream? No, not on Queeman's stream. On J-Stalk's stream?
In my whore.
I don't think so.
Well, I think it's good. Whoever sued him.
You want to go to 254? I got you, fam. Wait, like a go? Or
Not try to get that money. I don't understand. Like that.
Okay.
What's the problem?
I think that would be crazy, and I would criticize Ice Poseidon just as hard for doing that. For running his shit and then being like throwing. Actually, it's like almost the same application.
wait, do you mean 254 from the beginning, or do you mean 254
When
from
he
the
said
end?
he wasn't gonna like let Goon
What do
go
you
to
mean
any
by
events
that?
anymore. I was like, oh, you run a whole fucking content ecosystem off of this exact kind of content, and now that your personal shit gets put out there, you're gonna you're gonna throw a bitch fit and say, oh well, I don't have to let this guy come to my events anymore. Do you think that's totally justified? Ice Poseidon going, actually, I'm a blacklist Gooner from everything.
2 hours and 50. How do I even count this, bro? Wait, 6 hours, right? So 6 hours minus 2, that's 4 hours. 4 hours, no, that 2 hours and 4 hours, 6 minutes. So I need to go to 4 hours, 6 minutes.
Particularly intelligent analysis. I don't think there's like a lot going on there, and she has had every opportunity, right? There are a lot of people who get no opportunity.
Look at the timer next to I am. 2, wait, no, never mind. 2 hours. No, sorry, I'm wrong.
Yeah, there's a couple of factors.
Okay, this
That
part,
having
right?
that. I think I know.
Wasn't you a math major in college?
Again,
We don't talk about that.
I'm pretty sure that's like a lot of the TikTok. I think that's like all performative signaling for TikTok and shit, to be honest with you.
Factors that determine that. I think I know one of them.
For what
There is
This is the gayest thing Queeman does, preloading a bunch of ad homs to a take he just disagrees with. Yeah. I told you it's very airtight coded, right? It's very airtight. Airtight Nick do this all the time.
Yeah.
When it's like
I didn't know Irrelevant and Queeman had a fight. How do you know if they're having
sort
a
of
fight?
a trade-offs argument, or when it's like not something that's super clear. It's the same thing. I pointed this out last night. But I don't know. It's part of the personalities, whatever.
Could potentially be doing. That I've said nothing about what I've said is insane.
Disagree. But
hey, can you give me some of the insane things I said?
Sure, but after I finish my point, which is let's introduce Occam's razor. Is it more realistic that that's why he's not going after XQC, or is it that he's not going after XQC because he needed to manufacture public support for these lawsuits that would?
Wait, are you aware of? Do you know what we're talking about here, Lav? Do you know about the Ethan Klein lawsuits? He's suing like Casey Tron, Denims, Frogan.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Okay, that's like part of the reason Frogan's crying, and so we're just arguing that like Ethan Klein's kind of a total weirdo. Like he got like this apology from Frogan, where Frogan ended up apologizing for like anti-Semitism on the left and comments she made about Asmongold's mom, or sorry, Casey Tron did, and it was.
Queeman and Railbridge might be burned. What? Why did no one tell me about this content? That sounds like massive. Wait. Hold on. Man, Railbridge. I think I might be more interested in that. Let me see. Hello? Wait, Queeman is going after Loner Box now. Deranged sweeper. Loner Box desperately tries to avoid having an opinion. Okay. Alright, man.
Well,
can we all just?
Yeah, it did happen.
There's no.
You have barely.
As I came in,
Wait,
you were.
Wait, when did this happen? Well, okay, I don't care. No. No. When did this happen? Yesterday?
Like residential risk.
Raid. He doesn't want to make
Right now, you should.
Okay, so make man piss. Trust me, he would.
Okay, not this one.
Completely canceled.
Oh, this is like finishing the other half, right? Oh, yeah, so this is like one half and the other is the other half, right? Okay, so I'm assuming this is all straighter raid and J-Stoke circle jerking. Oh, Lord. Okay. All right, we'll see what this is. Wait, what did I first cover? Oh, right.
When they
Wait, what? Dude, they
How does Pisco associate with these people? I don't know, okay? You went out of the frying pan into the fire.
Oh, this is the worst. They basically agree. But Hutch is like
Queeman is aimless because he has no identity other than opposing Destiny. He will fall off and be gone in like half a year, lol. I mean, he's been having trouble breaking 10k subscribers. Like, for like a year now, no? He's been having a lot of trouble breaking 10k for like an entire year. More than a year.
like, fighting on the
Holy
dumbest
shit.
hill I've ever seen. It's like, okay, I would agree that not necessarily every lie is bad, but then that's like the exception.
To be honest, I might be there too.
Not the
okay?
rule. And he's like consistently pausing to make sure Pisco understands that like, whoa, I have to know. I can't say lying is bad because there are some lies that could possibly be good. It's like, no, you could say lying is bad outside of a few like notable.
To the point that
I was like morally good.
what if he
Like, no,
didn't
the
sue them for
lies-
copyright? His mom was gonna be killed. He was being held, he was being threatened. He was under duress to the point that he had no choice but to sue them, or else his entire
Jay still talked about how Queenman has small but dedicated community who will scrape for him. That's not a good thing, lol. Yeah, well, you know what? If you're gonna make money like that, fine. But you know, it's kind of tough being in a career where the entire point is to go on an upwards trajectory, right?
family would be threatened. It's like, okay.
They were gonna
Yeah,
nuke. They were gonna nuke New York City unless he lied about his impetus for the lawsuit. Hey, Relly, how's it going?
Season's greetings.
What's up?
It's over.
Is now a bad time to ask why this is like?
Love is alive. Oh yeah, real quick, guys. Okay, all right. Promo. You guys should donate. Yes, this is number 1. Number 2. Hey, if you enjoyed the content, I got more for you. It's on my second channel, which is Snack Markets. I'm trying to get as many subscribers as I could. Obviously, even though I got monetization, I'm trying to reach monetization with ads, so I'm trying to push it to 1,000 subscribers. We also got a Discord server. It is discord.gg/foodchops. We have a pleasant community. It's strictly moderated. It is just about the most sane drama community that you can ever be a part of. Now, you can also follow me on Kick. That's kick.com/foodchops. I put all my VODs there. The VODs are not on YouTube. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can find me at notfoodchops. Almost forgot one last thing. My online streaming thing really isn't possible without a large portion of my income coming from donations from people like you. If you would like to contribute, you can become a member or donate super chats and memberships during my streams. However, since YouTube takes 30% as a service fee, and you would like to maximize the money received for me, please donate on Kick, where Kick only takes 5% and I get 95%. You can even donate offline as well if you cannot catch up to the streams. Thank you for your support.